given Tony Broadway, and he is going to bet 25,000 here into a pot of 35.5.
This is a terrible card for Fabian. Not only does it give Tony the nut straight, but it gives him 2 pair. I think Fabian is going to have a tough time getting away from his hand.
All right, there's the real chip leader with 4.5 million. Quick fold by him. And it's around to Daniel, who has a pair of 6s this time.
Back-to-back pairs.
Yeah. It going out.
Kathy Laney with a pair of her own on the button here. She's going to make the call with pocket 5s.
And now
Sean Winter in the big blind with an ace-4.
he's got some money in there already. Yes, he is going to splash. So 6s, 5s versus ace-4. And the flop is at 8-6-4, 3 of a kind for Negreanu.
Negreanu flops a set. Let's see how he wants to play this. He's going to check it. All right. Figures that neither player is likely to have connected on this uncoordinated texture. Wants to give them one more card. Instead, Kathy is going to bet here with her pair and straight draw.
Yeah, Sean gets out of the way, and Daniel's just going to keep playing this slow, trying to rope her in with the call. 9 of spades on the turn. Daniel's going to check again.
Like to see Kathy check behind here. I don't think Daniel is calling with many worse hands on the flop, but it looks like she's going to get herself in some trouble and make another bet. 150,000 from Kathy Laney. So will Daniel continue to slow play, or is he going to let her know that she's in trouble?
Oh, an okie dokie call. He wants it all. Going to the river. Will it pay off for Daniel? He hits it 8, full boat.
And that is a great card for Daniel to check.
Check.
Kathy does not take the bait there, but Daniel checking in hopes that Kathy had an 8 and would make a value bet, and then he could check razor and get maximum money.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fedor quickly folds his hand. And Keith Tilston now with a pair of queens. Keith from Austin, Texas. The equities trader picking up a beautiful hand, has raised it. A whole bunch of folds behind him. Ankush, ace high, nope. But now Sean Winter, pretty solid ace-10.
Sean in the big blind here, likely to come along, reaching for chips. Makes the call.
Yes, he does. Here we go with the flop. And it is a king deuce. Keith doesn't like to see that when you have queens. Sean has checked.
Very uncoordinated texture here. Gonna be difficult for Keith to get value here. Deuce on the turn, puts 2 pair on the board. Sean will check. Back over to Keith. Does he want to make a value bet now? Looks like he does, to the tune of 65,000. So Sean?
What is it?
Wondering if his ace high with 2 pair can be good here.
Sean's 25 years old, and he's going to gamble with this. Thinks maybe his ace high is good. Going down to the river. Let's see if he gets lucky. Nope, 4 hearts. Nothing spectacular for Sean. He's going to check. And you got to question whether Keith will put in a value bet. Keith has 7 career World Series of Poker cashes.
He's definitely not a novice, even if he is not one of the professional players at this table. And he's reaching for chips right now. Betting 150,000 into this pot.
Yep. Sean Winter, disgusted.
Second time I misread the board. These lights are killing me.
He says that's the second time that he's misread the board and that these lights are killing him.
This board's different than when I called the turn.
It's never different the right way either. You know, it's never different where you figure out, oh, you got three of a kind. It's always the worst. Misread a hand when you win. And he's gonna lay that down. No moss. And he is having trouble with his eyes here.
I'm wearing glasses for sure.
A pair of queens you thought or something?
Totally misread the board.
The lights are pretty intense at the final table.
Well, we
I
can't
think
play
they
through
still
anyway.
are helpful. You know, gives you a little more liberty at the
minutes
table.
done.
Mike Sexton says you shouldn't even be allowed to wear sunglasses or hoodie or anything like that. He thinks it's really a disadvantage to not have that stuff.
Take the hoodies away from the online players, and there's going to be a revolution.
That's right. But you're right, it's trendy at times, and now none of these players on Alpha, except for now Sean Winter, wearing glasses. Interesting.
Fedor Holz here, our chip leader, opens the action to 70,000 with a king 7 suited. In the big blind, Nick Petrangelo finds a pair of 9s. He will make the call, and we will go to this flop heads up.
And the flop is a 10-8-4, so the 9's looking good at this point.
Yep, good flop for the Nick's 9s. Fedor with just king high and some backdoor draws here. Does he want to try and bet Nick off his hand?
Now, Fedor has had 2 buy-ins here at Alpha 8 for this event, so he's in for 200,000. He's the chip leader, but he's a 22-year-old poker phenomenon with lifetime earnings of 2.2 million. And he is going to take a stab at this. 95,000. Nick not
will make
going
the call.
anywhere, sure. Fedor has to hate that. And a 4 doesn't help Fedor.
And that's a card that's likely to shut down the action here, as it doesn't change anything about the texture. And if Nick has a 10 or perhaps a strong 8, Fedor knows that he's not likely to get him to fold with the board pairing.
So it's been checked to Fedor. Nick yielding to the young guy. Will he make another stab with his king high? What a poker face.
Fedor gonna check behind you.
Yep. River card doesn't help Fedor. It's a queen of clubs, so Nick safe here, but do not want to bet this.
Curious to see whether Fedor tries to bluff at this queen.
If Nick checks, which you think he would. Yes, he does.
Nick does check.
Giving one more opportunity for Fedor to take a stab at this with king high. This guy burst on the poker scene after winning the 2014 Poker Stars World Cup of Online main event. He took home 1.3 million in that event.
He checks behind you
Yes.
on this river, so Nick Petrangelo gonna drag a pot with pocket 9s.
Cliff out. Goo not wanting to play. And around to Matt Parry. Ace 5.
What's the start with? I just can't. Is there like an?
Yeah, it's about like 5, 6, 5, 5.
It's always so awkward in that seat. Can't tell what's going on across the table. I don't blame Matt for trying to clarify, but look, I appreciate that he wants to get the stack sizes right. That tells me that he is thinking about those things in his decision making.
Well, he's made it 325 into Gia. Look, oh, Gia's picked up 10s again.
This is a great opportunity. I like Gia's previous flat with pocket 10s against Matt because of the positions involved, but now blind versus blind, he has an awesome opportunity to 3-bet and get some money in here. He does not. Okay, I don't get it.
The flop's at ace 9-5, and now he's wishing he could have pushed him out because Matt Parry hitting aces. And there's the continuation bet, 375.
This is going to get awkward for Gia because you have to start questioning how many bets am I willing to call with the ace overcard out there. And he does have a backdoor flush draw to the 10, but as we know, that would be beaten by Matt's ace of diamonds if it were to come through.
A 9 on the turn.
And that is not the card Matt wanted to see.
Matt's gonna check.
It's not a bad card for Gia though, and you see him betting both to get value and to protect his hand from, random 3 and 6 outers.
She's starting to think he's in front, perhaps. And he makes a bet of 400. River card is a 6, doesn't help Gia. Matt's gonna check to him again.
Gia checks it back, and so Matt, who had lost the chip lead prior to this hand, is now going to regain it, taking some chips from Gia there. Bit of a missed opportunity.
Now you're Marlon Brando or something? Do you know who Marlon Brando is, by the way?
Of course I know who Marlon Brando is. Come on, Vince, I'll make you an offer you can't refuse.
All right. Oh, boy.
And then I'll start screaming for Stella.
There you go.
57's a bet.
He has an island, by the way. He used to.
Had him.
Thank you. All right, moving on. Let's see some poker here.
Yep. Ankush raised up a king 10 of clubs. He got a call from Daniel Negreanu in the big blind holding pocket 3s, and Ankush here connects by flopping top pair.
That's all you got to do. Makes the game easy. Checked by Daniel. Ankush with the continuation bet of 65,000. Daniel's going to stick around.
Yeah, no surprise that Daniel called here. Pretty uncoordinated board. Not bad for his pocket 3s.
9 on the turn. Doesn't change much. And what is Daniel thinking? Look at this. He's going to try to lead out and take this pot away.
This is a strange bet from Daniel. I think he believes Ankush might have a pair of overcards.
He just found out. Probably doesn't. But he could. Down to the river we go. 6 of diamonds. Now there's 3 diamonds out there. Will Daniels continue the fluff and puff show, or will he slow down?
Not a very good card for Daniel to bluff here. It completes the flush draw on the flop, pairs the board. Means it's unlikely that Ankush would fold to a river bet if he has some strong showdown value, as he does here with a 10. So Daniel checks over to Ankush, and now Ankush questioning whether he should make a value bet.
No, he's going to play it safe with a check.
2 pair.
Me too.
Ah, I'm dead. You got it. Nice hand.
Good slow down, Daniel.
I was pretending.
This is just gonna crush. It's a $1 buy-in, $1 million guarantee. I can't believe no one's thought about this.
What idiot came up with this? This is a disaster. There's no way we're gonna cover this.
Sign up for free today at WPTglobal.com and use bonus code YT60 and play the $1 for 1 million tournament.
And there is one of the newcomers that we talked about, Drew Patel, just 21 years of age from Portsmouth. He's got ace-queen offsuit and makes it 3,000 to go.
I think it's really good.
And why do some players opt for the min raise of 2,400 and others decide to put 3,000 in there? Is there really even a difference?
You know, there is a small difference. You know, first of all, you give the big blind a worse price to call when you make it a little bit bigger. You also make it more expensive for someone to 3-bet you. But a lot of it is a function of how deep the stacks are. When the stacks start to get a little bit more shallow towards the end of the tournament, you'll start to see more min raises.
Patel has picked up both Esfandiari and Tony G. They'll take the flop 3 ways, and that flop, ace, queen, jack. Patel with aces and queens. He's got the best hand. Tony G's got the Broadway draw. Antonio with just a pair of jacks. Patel bets 4,000. And Antonio quickly lays it down. And now Tony G has raised it to 10,000, making it 6K more to go.
Tony does have some equity. I mean, he has a gut shot straight draw and a backdoor flush draw. I don't like this raise, though, because it just represents so little. I don't think Tony would even raise if he had queen jack or ace jack. Drew Patel is now re-raised to 17,000, putting Tony in a very awkward spot.
And Tony G invests an additional 7,000 with just the naked king high here.
Not to mention he's out of position. He is getting a great price. The raise is very small, but still, Tony out of position without much of a hand.
4 on the turn. Tony G quickly checking over to Drew.
And that 4, not a scare card for Drew Patel. His ace-queen still looking very strong here.
And he's going to check it.
Yeah, I don't understand this check at all.
Oh, and disaster rolls off on the river. Tony G now with the best hand.
40,000.
This is a huge bet by Tony, and Drew immediately, takes the earphones out and pays attention. He doesn't like this play at all. Now, it's very tempting to now blame Drew Patel for checking the turn and letting Tony G get there.
Call. I would have had to bet any river, so it was a good call. We're just unlucky.
Drew very disappointingly pays off Tony and sees his king deuce of hearts.
Kind of floating when you check the turn. It put me under pressure. At least the 10 arrived. I called the 7. He was trying to play around with me a bit.
Back to the featured table. Tony G opened up the pot with Jack 10 offsuit, raising to 5,000. Smooth call on the button with King Queen off for Fabian Quoss. And a call from the big blind out of Max with 3-4 suited. The flop, 9 Trey Queen. Little something for everyone. Bottom pair for Max, who checks it over to Tony. Tony's got the open ender. Checks it over to Fabian. And with top pair and a king kicker, Quoss is reaching for chips.
Yeah, good flop for Fabian.
He bets 9,000. Max lets it go.
Actually, very interesting fold for Max. He did have a pair on the flop with a backdoor flush draw. I'm surprised that he just let it go there. Maybe it was because he was out of position and still had Tony behind him, who, as we've seen, can kind of play hands in any which way.
Tony has made the call, and the turn card would have given Max a flush draw. Instead, it's heads up. The ace of hearts. Tony checks. Fabian checks behind him. King on the river, however, has given Tony Broadway, and he is going to bet 25,000 here into a pot of 35.5.
This is a terrible card for Fabian. Not only does it give Tony the nut straight, but it gives him 2 pair. I think Fabian is going to have a tough time getting away from his hand at this moment.
Clearly, he isn't comfortable.
If you fold, I'll show you one card, don't worry.
I'm sure that's true.
And you can choose it.
I'm pretty sure you have it this time. I have a pretty strong hand though.
Good instincts from Fabian here. Even though Tony's been bluffing a lot, Fabian still has a feeling that his 2 pairs beat.
I don't know, I'm not sure. I mean, it could be. I don't know, I have a strong hand too. Obviously, I wouldn't bet, right? 2 strong hands fighting.
What kind of hand does he think Tony's got that has King Queen beat?
He's going to put him at least some of the time on the hand that he has, a straight, and then hands like a flop set, ace queen, ace king.
Oh, and Quoss makes the call and gets a look at the nuts.
Yeah, Fabian can't be too shocked to see that hand.
This is the big one.
But at the same time, his 2 pair, I think, was just a little too strong to fold, especially against a player as bluff-happy and unpredictable as Tony.
Native European, hailing from Germany, with Queen 10 offsuit. He makes it 5,000 to go. The blinds are at 12 and 2,400. The antes are at 400. Been folded around to Tony G.
We're 5-handed at our featured table. We have a total of 10 players remaining in the tournament.
Ace 9-7 rainbow between these two. Tony has flopped the gut shot straight draw and checked it over to Fabian, who is betting 6,000 with Queen high. Little known fact about Tony, he contributes large portions of his winnings to charity. Tony makes the call.
Tony floating out of position here with a gut shot. A 10 would give him the nuts.
Deuce on the turn, no help, and Tony checks a second time. And Fabian checks back. And the river, Tony gets there.
The worst card possible for Fabian. Gives him a pair of 10s and obviously gives Tony the nut straight.
Yeah, second pair for Quoss. And he's going to make the call. Take a look.
Fabian here doesn't beat very much on the river, but Tony's style is kind of so hard to predict that Fabian felt the need to just pay off there with just a pair of 10s.
You got to bet the turn sometimes.
I didn't have anything on the turn.
No.
Under the gun now, Philip Gruesome, who is the short stack with roughly 50,000 in front of him.
It's much easier to play. You should try. Not looking at your hand.
Over to Tony G with ace 5 offsuit and
friends. I just called them.
He's going to limp in from the small blind.
7.
Fabian says, no, we'll play for more. Makes it 7,000 total.
You don't want to stop, huh?
I think Fabian is probably trying to make it seem like he's getting frustrated with Tony, but Queen 8 of diamonds is actually a pretty good hand. He's in position here, and I think he thinks that he has a real post-flop advantage on Tony, so he wants to build a pot with a hand that he can just outplay Tony in position.
Be embarrassed if I just give up like that, limp in and then what? I have to do something now.
Do something?
I'm committed. I'm committed to the pot. All right, I just call. Just keep it friendly.
How do you feel about Tony defending with the ace-5 offsuit?
You know, when it's just blind versus blind and you have an ace, it's a very strong hand. Tony could have raised it up himself. I don't mind, limping in and then calling a raise, but it's a fine play overall.
Flop is 6-8-9. Tony has the bad end of a gut shot draw.
With ace high, I can't see Tony releasing his hand on the flop.
Pair of eights for Fabian.
Looks like he's going to bet for value here when he flops a pair.
8,000 is the number. Back to Tony. He'll call the 8,000. His turn card is a 10. 4 to a straight out there. Tony checks it.
It's a bad card for both players, but when Fabian checks, that might open the door for Tony to take a shot on the river.
Amazing river.
Yang seems a little entertained by the fact that the board now reads a straight.
Yeah, this is a really interesting card. Tony checking out of position. I'm a little bit surprised he didn't take a shot. Instead, he's checked it and allowed Fabian to take a shot.
I know, I don't know why. I have a bad feeling.
Now Tony doesn't look like he's considering a raise, knowing that the best possible outcome is chopping the pot. Fabian's bet is so big that I don't think mathematically this is a really reasonable option. I think you just have to let it go.
Stupid fold. That's okay, I'll do it.
Tony seems to agree, and talk me through that. Betting 25,000 is designed to cause Tony to evaluate the hand as it's not worth it. What are the numbers? Fold it around to Philip Gruesome, and he's got pocket eights.
Philip starting this hand with just over 50 big blinds.
He makes it 9,000 to go. And it's pocket queens for Tony G.
This is especially dangerous for Philip because Tony is such a unpredictable and aggressive player. Philip's going to put him on a wider range than he would some other players.
Tony has made it 22,000 total. Gruesome calls.
And Philip at least has position here.
Is that too much of a commitment to make pre-flop by just calling rather than either folding or pushing all in?
No, I think Philip with 50 big blinds, he'd definitely afford to call and see a flop.
And the flop. 2 4s and a 10, couple of diamonds.
Both players are going to feel relatively comfortable. For some reason, Tony decides to check his pocket queens out of position. Maybe he's trying to deceive Philip or at least get Philip to take a shot at the pot.
And Gruesome doesn't take a shot at the flop. Now the turn, a very dry-looking deuce of spades.
That's also a little surprising. I think with a pocket pair, I would probably bet if I was checked to. Maybe Philip was suspicious of Tony's check on such a dry board.
And Tony bets 30,000 and Philip makes the call.
Tony deciding now to try to build a pot with his overpair.
And here comes the river. Oh, it's an 8.
Wow, that is an incredible card.
2 outer for Gruesome. He's now got a full house.
And Tony shockingly checks the river with an overpair. I don't know if Tony picked up something on Philip or he's just decided to play this hand passively. Can't imagine he would be check raising. It's a really strange and interesting line from Tony G. And since Philip got incredibly lucky on the river, I think this is going to end up saving him a lot of chips. Philip is probably pretty confused about the line that Tony's taken. 3-betting, then checking the flop, betting the turn, and then checking this river.
Full house.
He bets 55,000 and gets called, and Tony doesn't appear to like it.
Oh, queens, well done.
It looks like Tony played his hand like a genius since he lost so few chips, but I'm not sure if he played it the most profitable way he could have.
Oh, Phil, I'm glad I caught you. I don't know what you're getting into this weekend, but I'm hosting my monthly poker game. Yeah, the stakes, they're a little smaller, but with straddles and bomb pots, it can play pretty big. Put it this way, Phil, I've seen the pot reach $100, and my wife is making her nacho dip, so it's pretty good.
Hold, please. Did you say nachos?
Sign up for free today at WPTglobal.com and use bonus code YT60 and play the $1 for 1 million tournament.
Let's go to that Zynga Poker WPT cash game board. Ben Lamb is winning the most at this moment, 37,000.
Ben Lamb so far showing that he's great at cultivating an image of giving action and splashing around in pots, but then once he gets post-flop, he's actually playing really well and making thoughtful decisions. So you see why Ben has established himself as the go-to high-stakes pro that somehow gets access to hands.
And James Calderaro, great WPT champion, he's down the most. He's down about 33,000. The blinds are 1 and 2, and they're playing with the straddle.
Small out of those, 45.
This has been raised by Caldo.
And you steam like me too.
Yeah.
And re-raised now by Kristen Bicknell. She has ace-9 of diamonds.
That may or not be true.
I like this 3-bet from Kristen. She's got a strong hand, she's in position, and she knows Caldo is raising way too many hands.
I don't believe she's steaming.
Good call from Randall, too, and Caldo pretty loose with the overcall, but he is suited, so here we go.
Flop is a jack-jack, ace, 2 hearts. Kristen hits aces. Caldo, of course, with the 4 flush.
Nice check from Kristen there. Randy checks behind, looking for a 10.
4 on the turn.
I like that check from Caldo. I don't think you get better hands to fold when you bluff, and there's always the possibility that you make your flush and run into a full house on a paired board. I think with a smaller flush draw he could bet, but the king-high one makes a good check.
Well, she's going to come out and bet. She's a Canadian tough player. Caldo from South Florida, WPT champion, 3 times at a final table on the World Poker Tour. He's going to check raise it.
I don't know about this.
He's trying to say, I have a jack. I don't believe you have an ace, maybe. Try to muscle her out, but we know better. She has an ace and a pretty good kicker.
Yeah, it's quite a small raise. I think if you're going to check raise bluff your hand, you either don't want to do it on a paired board or you want to do it when you have way more outs. Like maybe a straight draw to go with your flush draw. And he's also gone so small that Kristen is going to continue with all her aces here, which she would definitely play like this a lot.
She's made this call. Will Caldo catch his flush here? No, it's a deuce. And he's going to give up with a check.
You checked?
Check, check.
Pair of deuces.
Wow. Caldo is just not running good here tonight.
Good hand.
Another nice hand from Kristen Bicknell. She's mostly thought of as a tournament poker player, but really showing that she belongs at any poker table tonight. And just a call.
Okay, he's going to disguise the strength of his hand with just a call with the kings and hope an ace doesn't appear. But of course an ace appears.
Ace always gets there.
That's why I always play with aces. It's a good strategy.
You can always raise for the flop and always get an ace.
He's like, hey, just in case it wasn't clear, I have a pair that's angry about seeing an ace.
Another ace.
That's all he needs is one. Now he has 2.
Ben is sticking in 6,000.
Oh, come on.
You gotta have me by now.
Flushing?
Flush draw. Check it.
The backdoor flush draw gets there. With trips, I think that Ben still needs to value bet here somewhere around half pot.
What do you think I should do?
9,000.
Yeah, that sounds good. And he's telling you the truth. He'll call 9,000.
It's fair for everybody.
No chance he bets 9. No chance. No chance? No chance.
That's collusion, sir. Can he do that?
I was thinking about betting 9, but now I can't. Brandon will think less of me if I do.
Well, he knows he has his man on the ropes here. And now it's just how much can you extract from Caldo?
That's fair, actually.
Oh, it's 11,000.
King shrunk up again.
Take the money.
So bad.
You have kings again?
Yeah.
It's crazy. You have the king of hearts?
I gotta have the king of hearts.
If you have the king of hearts, you just move in.
No, I don't. I call.
Oh, boy.
I call for, I snap call.
Kristen, she has the big ace-king this time. And she's going to make it 1,200. Randall Emmett, the Hollywood producer, making the call with an ace-4.
You take those from mine?
There's Brandon Steven.
Oh, you grabbed my chips.
He 3-bet with the queen deuce suited up to 3,700, which is mostly an excuse to splash around. Caldo now with a pair of queens. I expect him to 4-bet, and that actually will put Kristen in a really tough, weird spot.
Oh no, there we go, buddy. Play some poker, right?
And he comes back over the top, total of 9,900 with the queens.
Quite a spot for Kristen now. She opened the action with ace-king. Brandon 3-bets her. Caldo 4-bets, and now she's gonna 5-bet to 25,000. 25,000 before the flop. Oh man. And Caldo is not going anywhere. It's really a question of does he want to shove or does he want to call? He's not folding, I'll tell you that much.
He's just gonna call. This is a massive pot.
Over $55,000 in the middle before we even get to a flop, and it is 6-4 deuce. Great looking flop for Caldo's queens.
He checks.
Kristen elects to check behind.
They go check, check. Another good card for James. Now, because of that check behind him, you gotta think your queens are in front. You gotta put her on something like ace-king, unless she's doing something sneaky. And he's gonna come out with a bet, 23,000 with the queens.
I like that bet from Caldo. It's time to get value for your hand.
You do have ace high, right?
Caldo likes to say that the strength of his game is table talk.
It's no good.
Trying to figure out if you have aces or kings. Or if you think jacks are good.
So you have queens? Get the money in with what it wants. You guys don't run twice, do you?
We can try it.
I don't.
Yeah, I just asked.
Oh, you just asked them?
Yeah, just asked.
Okay, I'm not running it twice.
You're not running it twice?
I never run twice. You have the worst hand.
I don't know about that.
I'm telling you, when you don't know about it, I'll let you know. Which one you want to look at? Which one? That one? Well, monkey hand first, you can take a peek at it.
Why do you want me to fold?
Well, I'd rather you put your money in because I have the best hand. If you really have queens, you're really supposed to get the money in there.
Yeah.
In theory, he should try and talk Kristen into a call here if he believes his hand is best, but sometimes the pot gets big and people just want to take it down instead of risk losing.
Because jacks are no good.
But queens are good?
I said if you have queens, I would get your money in there.
What about jacks?
I just don't think jacks are any good.
Yes, jacks and a half.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say anything.
Yeah, you guys shut up.
How much more information can I give you?
All right, I will fold.
You have
I don't know if I
anything?
want to see one.
You don't want to see one?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Okay.
Now I want to see the other one.
You don't know what that is?
It's an ace.
You know it's an ace. You have ace king.
Show her the other queen. Be nice. Jesus. Huh?
So there you go. Caldo taking down a good pot.
That was like so perfect. That was so perfect. There's no way I wasn't winning that pot.
Jackie, I think you owe me a thank you for encouraging everybody to donate to you. All right, Jackie, we'll talk later.
I the button is at the gun.
What happened?
1,600 to call.
Oh, okay. I thought I had to put in up more straddle up there or something.
One round, right?
I've never seen it jump from, one round of double straddles. Like usually you'd have a round of straddles. Now we're gonna do a round of double straddles for our first.
Yes, man.
You guys are stupid. I love it.
Bad.
I love it.
It's 1,600. I raise.
Oh, this is shaping up well.
Randall makes it 4,000.
Ben, stop before you go through the light without. Oh, Ben, God, playing against the best guy in the world sucks.
Ben calling Jack 6 offsuit. That seems a bit much.
We got like 30 there?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'll show you what I have.
I see it.
Yeah, no, I'm going to show you all my chips.
I don't want to see them.
I'm going to put them right here for you.
4 total?
Caldo will overcall, so 3 of us
5,000.
going to the flop. Everyone sharing cards.
Guys, this is where I double up or I busto.
And on ace 7-3, Caldo takes the lead here. Middle pair.
Neither of his opponents holding an ace. And yet, Ben Lamb is going to be the one to bet here. I don't quite get it. Firing 7,000 here, but I guess he thinks that Randy would have always bet an ace himself, and he does have the jack of clubs, which is a relevant blocker.
I fold.
So Caldo makes the call with middle pair.
I hate this game.
You hate it?
I just hate when I don't hit anything, I don't have anything.
Now heads up. Caldo way out in front, but the 6 of clubs is an interesting card.
Now it's starting to get better for me.
Ben now pairs his 6 and picks up a club flush draw, so he would win on the river with a jack, 6, or club. Checks over to James.
James in front at this time, but no, he's going to check it. And an awful card for James. 10 of clubs. That gives Ben the flush.
And if I'm Ben, I'm value betting because Caldo is more of the calling than bluffing type. Nice bet from Ben there, 12,000. Caldo not going to waste any time. He just drops his hand in the muck.
I want you to know I have the queen of clubs. I win automatically.
Give him the
God,
ball.
I wish I would have seen it. Okay, push it here. I'm gonna borrow 100, okay?
Hold on, we need more blinds. Caldo, do not fold.
I'm at 16.
Oh, all right.
Caldo is the triple straddle to 1,600 here. Kristen drops out.
I call.
There's one where it double straddles, and then we're gonna try to go back to raising to 1,200, I'm sure.
Ben, what does it matter really though? At the end of the day,
I like this. I'm all for it.
No, this is your game.
Yeah, I'm very lucky. So increasing the lines is a really good idea.
Ben is out. Over to Jackie. I expect Jackie to raise here with all these kind of blindish hands. Nope, just gonna call. A little surprising. And now Caldo in position with his ace-3 of clubs.
Jackie, did you call?
Yeah, I called.
How did you feel about that? Emotionally.
And Caldo is gonna raise it up to 6,600.
Every time you reach over, look at my chips. You're taking them all.
Yeah, Jackie is eyeing everybody's stacks here. Wonder what he's thinking.
Randall's going to give it a shot. Brandon out.
All in.
Wow, Jackie is just playing lights out poker.
Call.
Quick call by Caldo, though. Didn't even think about it.
Let's switch.
No, you don't want to switch. I do want to switch. Can we switch? Did he fold?
So you always one time, right?
Yeah.
I had Jack Queen. I should have called.
3s in the nuts.
I think I win. I almost snap called. And I'm gonna be on tilt at the highest level.
Hold on, you wanna run twice? Up to, I'm serious.
You want to run it twice?
I want twice.
I'll do it for you one time. Okay. Twice.
One time or two?
One board, run it
Two
twice?
whole board.
2 whole boards?
Yes.
Because you're gonna beat that bad? All right, run it twice for the man.
Yeah, twice.
Caldo, Mr. Run It Once, says, just for you, Jackie, we run it twice.
I'm ace-3. He can't win. It's clubs and then a 3.
And here's the first flop, an ace-6-5.
Pretty good for Jackie, hoping to dodge a backdoor straight or a 3, but that's a nice start for his hand.
Good favorite and a 4 on the turn.
Oh my God.
All right, deuce of clubs.
You don't want to burn all your clubs. Deuce of diamonds.
Be careful.
Jackie with an ominous threat towards the dealer. He's just playing though, he's having fun. Caldo can catch a deuce, 7, or 3 for the win here.
A 7 gets hit, so Caldo out rivers him.
Next.
For already.
I thought you only went once.
Nah, my buddy, I told him I'd do it twice. You know what? You're right. I only go once.
But they get to do it again.
Wow.
Didn't even use your 3 and only one club.
It's clubs no matter what. It's no doubt. Just count how much do I have here. Just let him give me the money. You want me to give you that half and the half and get out of the pocket because you can't win the next one?
I don't think he can either, I tell you.
He can. He's already dead.
Here we go. To King Jack 8.
Pretty good start for Jackie.
Come on, no more pair up.
It's a 3 for sure. It's like no doubt.
Oof! Yikes!
Oh, no, come on.
Well, now he's chopping that board with Caldo. As they're playing the board and an ace.
River card, another jack.
Come on.
So Caldo is going to come out ahead here, but Jackie, with the great play pre-flop, gets punished.
I think it just goes to 1, 2, 4.
Pocket kings.
I'm sorry, I'm not used to being under the gun on the button. I have the button, I'm like waiting for someone to act. That's on me.
Ben saying it's pretty weird to be under the gun and on the button at the same time in a six-handed game, but that's what the triple straddle will do. So he makes it 5,000. Kristen will call an ace-queen, and Randy squeezes with his pocket tens for about 2/3 of his stack. So Ben is gonna have to think this over. I imagine he will fold, and then Kristen will also have an awkward decision. But considering how much Randy has been trying to get the money in pre-flop, I think she will elect to move all in. But I don't think this is gonna be some insta decision from Kristen.
How much did you start with? Like, or you made it 28? 21.8. 21.8.
She's going to push all in.
Run it once or twice?
Twice?
Twice is good.
What do you guys got? Can you show your hands or not?
I have ace queen. No show hands?
Classic coin flip for $73,000 in the middle. Real money.
Randall, a very slight favorite. And the flop on the first one is a 9-4-3. Good for Randall Emmett. Kristen looking concerned here. Going to the turn. It's a deuce. That's great for Randall. And let's river it out. 7. Randall's going to take the first one.
Okay, so Randy guaranteed half of this pot. Now free rolling to get all of it.
I didn't fold any of your, I had the king, I had king jack, so you're safe.
I feel like a 10's coming.
I kind of feel a 10.
I feel 10.
Begging for a 10, not to be. King 4
A
deuce.
10. 2-5. 2-5.
Safe so far for the 10s.
Safe 6.
And a 3. 3.
So now only an ace or a queen.
Let's see the last card. Oh, it's an ace!
God, I can't get a break. Look at that. God, it sucks.
So they will chop it up.
That doesn't suck.
It sucks bad.
That sucks bad.
It's the worst one. It's the last card to come.
One card.